Israel be saved. Israel be saved.
Yeah, we on top, though we on the bottom. Oppressed every day, might not see tomorrow. Curses on us, cause we broke our laws. Now we in a land we don't call our own. We've been oppressed so long. But one day we gon' rise up. These nations, they don't want no problem.
But they got one.
Cause one day you'll come back. Cause one day
You'll come back.
I know Israel be saved.
Galatians chapter 4 and verse 26. Brothers and sisters, Africa is not the motherland. We're about to see what the motherland is right now. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all. So Jerusalem is the mother of us all. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Jerusalem is your motherland.
That's right.
You see that, brother? Mm-hmm. So we've been taught today that Africa is our motherland.
Oh, okay.
But Jerusalem is the motherland.
Oh, okay.
See, what done happened is we've been taught a whole lot of lies in this land we in today. Mm-hmm. But one of the lies is that the motherland is Africa.
Oh, okay.
Another lie is that your nationality is what? So you assume we from Africa, which would make you an African.
Well, we originally from Africa. I'm an American now.
You're American now?
Yeah.
So if you call yourself an African American, because that's how we
I think we need to call ourselves United Americans.
United American?
Because see, I'm dark and you light skinned.
Yeah.
Our people have evolved into a mixed race of people with a dominant African gene. So we got a mixture of African,
Okay.
European, Hispanic,
Yeah.
Native American.
Let me show you something. Let me show you something. Read that.
The book of Numbers, chapter 1 and verse 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month. And they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers.
So they declared their pedigrees by the house of their fathers.
Yeah,
Okay, so whatever your father is, that's what make you who you are. Okay, so my father was a so-called black man whose ancestors were the ones that was brought over here into slavery on slave ships.
Right.
So we are all one people.
Yeah.
Right? We are. So everybody's not the same though. Okay, so ain't no mixed multitude of us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Your nationality is right here on this sign.
Okay.
On the right side.
Ancient Egypt flourished before Israel even came into existence. Ancient Ethiopia, ancient Egypt.
Were they here?
Out of the African continent.
No, God made everybody.
I mean, the Israelites were enslaved by the Egyptians, and the Egyptians
that's right.
flourished in an empire years before Israel ever came into existence.
No. They were an empire, but Israel was here. They just hadn't went over to went over into that land. They went over into that land, and then that's when they started evolving to be slaves in that land.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so African folk don't have a history that pre-existed the Israelites.
Right.
Oh.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
okay.
Right. And see what you got to know is they're not Africans anyway. That's not the name of those people over there. They were named by them.
Okay.
It was a Roman general who named them Africans. His name was Leo Scipius Africanus.
I agree with you on that one.
Okay.
The name Africa came from European.
That's right.
But back
also,
in ancient Egypt, it was called Egypt.
Yeah, that place was called Egypt.
Right.
That's right. Which was the land of Mizraim. Okay. So America. Somebody named this land. So you said we ought to be called Americans.
Well, I'm just going about the general thought.
Well, that's just the land we're in.
That's right.
Right. So at the same time, we could be in Paris. Will we be Parisians?
Yeah, we'd be Parisians.
We'll be called that, but they won't be our nationality.
Okay. Well,
we'll still be black people though, right? In your mind, they will still be black people. But we are Israelites according to the Bible, brother.
I don't look at this as black. I look at this different levels of melatonin.
And you're right. You're
The closer
right.
you adapt to the equator, you're gonna become dark. The farther you adapt away from the equator, you
What you
become
got
light.
right there?
So it's really not color. It's really not black. It's
Genesis 2 and 7.
Yeah, read that. Read what you got right here.
The book of Psalms, chapter 49 and verse 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They called their land after their own names.
So what they did was they came over and they conquered lands and they called their names after their own land. Africanus, Leo Scipius, Americo Vespucia, which this land was named after.
That's right.
They were named after their own lands. I mean, these places they were named after their names. Okay, so you're not an African, you're not an American, you are an Israelite according to the Bible.
That's right.
And you might not have known, but I'm about to show you that though. Give me
Well, the
Deuteronomy.
Bible originated from the Israelite people.
That's right. That's who
their
wrote those
history.
scripts.
It's their history.
Exactly.
But,
That's our history, bro.
but Israel isn't the only nation that's ever been created under those conditions. Other
What you mean?
nations-
Under what conditions?
Well, a condition where they once enslaved by a group of people, then they left and migrated and settled in another land.
Right.
Our nation was created under the same conditions.
But guess what? These people, the Israelites, only went through these curses right here, though. Check this out. This is how I know that you're an Israelite, and everybody out here that you look at day to day is an Israelite. Okay, give me Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15 first, to let you know what's going on right here. Read that off.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So all these curses going to come upon these group of people and overtake them. Now this is Moses talking to the children of Israel. He ain't talking to nobody else. Give me 32.
So part of that curse is them being enslaved.
Yeah. Give me that one first. Give me that one first.
We suffered.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
So these curses going to be upon these people for a sign and a wonder forever. So when you see a sign, it identifies something, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so these curses identify these group of people. Go to verse 32.
Verse 32, thy son and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long.
Hold on. So who did this happen to?
The Israelites.
This happened to the Israelites.
They were just slaves, carried off in captivity, slavery and bondage.
Okay, so who else do you know that happened to in history? Us. Okay, read on.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand.
So it shouldn't be no might in these people's hands to deliver themselves from their captives. So if you ever seen, and I know you know the history, you one person who ain't had to been done seen 12 years a slave or roots.
Right.
You know. You've been told these things that we was in captivity. And when our sons and daughters were taken, we cried and mourned, and there wasn't nothing we could do. That's what that scripture just said was going to happen to those people right there.
We
Okay?
also got verses in the Bible that talks about how Egyptians will be brought out of Egypt naked and in chains.
Exactly.
Not Israelites, but Egyptians. Now this is
Egyptians.
That's right. This is a society of people that flourished before the Israelites. So our folk were enslaved as far back as the Egyptian Empire when they...
Not our folks. Your folks are the Israelites. Listen to what I'm trying to tell you right
But there
here.
was the people that were enslaved way before the Israelites. Our own...
But these are the only people who went through these curses. These are the people who went through these curses, which were your people.
And not the descendants of Egyptians
Ham.
out of Egypt. Naked and in
Ham,
chains.
the Egyptians of
So they never went through that type of curse.
never went through these curses right here. Watch this. Exodus 11 and 7.
Exodus chapter 11 and verse 7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how the Lord does put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
So these are two different set of people right here.
You're right.
They're not the same people.
You're right.
Okay, go back. Okay, read that.
Deuteronomy 28 and verse 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
Okay, so the scripture said that we will serve our enemies, which the Lord shall send against us. Did you hear that, brother?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so still we're talking about the children of Israel. We're not talking about nobody else. All right, read.
And hunger. in hunger and in thirst.
Hold on, bro. I know you reading.
Yeah.
I want you to take that with you though. But right now, the scripture's coming out. The scripture's coming out. So it said, in hunger and in thirst, we were going to serve our enemies. Who's serving their enemies today in hunger and in thirst?
We are.
We are. We want Aquafina. We want a Coca-Cola. We want anything to drink. We got to serve our enemies because we don't own Aquafina.
Right.
We don't own the Coca-Cola plants.
Right.
We don't even own the water that's coming out of our fountains.
So what
If you don't pay that,
Right.
they're going to cut you off.
How do
our
we
enemies.
own things like that?
How do we own things like that? Go back to Deuteronomy 28 and verse 1.
Now, are we talking about Moses delivering the people out of servitude and abundant day?
That's right.
The promised land to them. Martin King Jr. delivered our people out of the last.
No. Martin Luther King did not deliver us.
He did.
No, he didn't. He didn't deliver us at all.
Civil rights movement.
The civil rights movement.
Didn't have nothing to do with our last
Hold
remaining
on. Now
promised
we
land.
just went over that we would need our enslavers for everything.
Okay.
So how did he deliver us if we still gotta pay for Aquafina, for Coca-Cola, for the water that come out of your
We got the
faucet?
freedom to own it.
No, we
got the freedom to
we
make
got
Aquafina.
all
We got the
this
freedom to make
time,
Coca-Cola.
all those marches. We done had the Million Man March. It's a million men.
Okay.
He couldn't do it, and Martin Luther King didn't do it.
Right.
Oh, but he left a message. He said
That's just a message, bro. That's just a message.
So we shouldn't.
That's just a message. What Martin was supposed to do was come out of this Bible.
That's right.
That's what he was supposed to do. He gave us speeches. He gave us
He
words.
spoke about promised land. He came out of the Bible. He said, as a people, we should get to the
Reread that
promised
up.
Jeremiah chapter 23 and verse 25. I have heard what the prophets said. They prophesied lies in my name, saying, I have dreamed, I have dreamed.
So who said I have dreamed, I have dreamed?
He did.
Martin Luther King did.
Right.
But read that again from the top.
I have heard what the prophets said that prophesied lies in my
That
name.
prophesied lies in his name. Read.
Saying, I have dreamed, I have dreamed. How long shall this be in the heart of the prophets that prophesy lies? Yea, they are the prophets of the deceit of their own heart.
Of their own heart, they're the prophets. Because he wasn't coming out this Bible. Every video you seen, Martin Luther King never had that Bible open and was reading the Bible to our people.
That's right.
That wasn't happening, bro.
Suppose he was a real live prophet receiving information from
Malachi.
the scriptures from God. Suppose he was a real prophet who didn't have to rely on
No,
the Bible.
when you're a real prophet, a prophet is going to prophesy out of this book.
That's right.
That's what's going to
Prophet
happen.
prophesied things changing in a whole nation.
Yeah.
He was able to confront kings and rulers.
This is what he should have did. This is what he should have did.
Malachi chapter 2 and verse 7. For the priest's lips should keep knowledge, and they shall seek the law at his mouth.
So the priest's lips, he said he was a priest, right? Martin Luther King's a preacher, a prophet, a priest, a reverend. That's the same thing, right? So he should have.
What did he just say?
Read that again.
For the priest's lips should keep knowledge. They shall seek the law at his mouth. For he is the messenger of the Lord of hosts.
So if he the messenger of the Lord of hosts to his people, he should have been coming straight out of the Bible.
That's right.
It said the priest's lips should keep knowledge and should seek the law at his mouth, brother.
Okay, they received
He
laws.
wasn't telling his people the laws. He was giving
So
us
we shouldn't-
vain
We
thoughts.
shouldn't pay attention to anything Martin King Jr. done as far as delivering
What
our
you
people
should
out
pay
of the
attention
last
to-
remaining bondages of slavery.
He did not
Which was
deliver
the Jim
us
Crow
out
law.
of bondage, brother. What you should do is listen to
Remaining
this
bondages
Bible.
of slavery. Jim Crow
I'm
law.
finna show you what you should do. Give me
I
Deuteronomy
gotta go to
28.
work. I'm sorry.
Don't leave so fast. You going to
I
work?
gotta go to work. Right.
Do you know what today
I do
is?
volunteer work.
Do you know what today is?
No, I don't.
Today is the Sabbath.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. It is for the Sabbath.
So
The
do you-
Israelites on Saturday?
On
They
Saturday.
worship on Saturday.
No,
But I
today
don't pay
is the.
attention to man-made religion.
But see, you saying you don't pay attention to man-made religion.
Right.
You just said that was the Israelites' law, right? So how
I just say
man
it's-
didn't make? Give
it's
me
a law
Genesis chapter
it's
2
a law
and 3.
that applies to all human beings. All human
sir.
beings need to thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill,
Uh-huh.
thou shalt not curse.
Cause we know
All
those bad
human
things
beings
according
need
to the
do
Bible. So
things
man
like
didn't write that. You got that from the Word of God,
The
right?
Word of God, that's right.
So the Word of God said you shouldn't work, you shouldn't cook, and you shouldn't do other things on the
I
Sabbath.
do volunteer work
On the
to help
Sabbath.
people out.
So you going by your own thoughts.
Well, I just don't pay attention to Sabbath. I don't pay attention to the sun because I know all religions come from man.
That'll work. Give me
All
that too.
religions come from man.
I want to get it with Genesis chapter 2 verse 3.
And Israelites is not the only people.
Exodus chapter 20 in verse 2. I mean Genesis chapter 2 in verse 2. And on the seventh day, God ended his work which he had made and rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And God blessed the seventh and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work which God created and made.
Okay, so give me Exodus chapter
Creation
20
was
verse
made in
8.
7 days.
Look, you don't know that the creation was made in 7 days?
I don't think it was made in 7 days.
That's what the Bible say though.
Bring it
I know
up.
the Bible written by men.
Give me
And men control all religion. All religions
before we
come
go
from
into
men.
that, I want you to know about the 7th day that you say you don't go by.
I just don't worry about theology associated with religion. I just worry
That
about
religion-
people
we're
learning
not
how to do the
religious,
right
brother.
thing.
We're not
What we need
religious.
to be doing is talking about how we need to stop the
Yeah,
stealing, the killing, the cussing, the
Ecclesiastes
crime, the violence, the
19:19.
drugs, the gang.
Bruh,
That's what we need to be talking about.
Baruch
We got
4
problems
and 1.
going on in the community now.
This is
that
not a
doesn't have
religious.
anything to do with Israelites. It's had to do with people learning how to love people.
See, because you work at the Civil Rights Museum, right? About Martin Luther King and all this stuff. You think he was a good man, right? But what did Martin Luther King teach his people to do? At one point, we had our own societies. We had our own doctors. Our kids went to schools that were taught by people who didn't hate us. But Martin Luther King said, no, don't do that. Let's come together with the people that brought us here in chains. Let's come together with the people who hung our men from trees. Let's come together with the people that raped our men and our sisters. That's what Martin Luther King did. Read that.
Bring it up.
Proverbs 3:31.
Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 31.
Go ahead.
Envy not thou the oppressor.
The Bible says we don't supposed to envy the oppressor. See, we had our own things in Black Wall Street. What we had during Black Wall Street, we had hotels, we had hospitals, we had airports, we had teachers, we had schools. Martin Luther King wasn't about that. He wasn't about own your own bus station, bus line. He was about get on the white man's bus. Let them spit in your face. Let them slap you. Let them stick their dogs on you. Let them spray water hose with you. Do whatever you can. Let's get along with these damn devils. But what the Bible said, read.
Envy not thou the oppressor.
It says, envy not the oppressor. We shouldn't want to be like them. That's what's wrong with our women right now. They putting all these weaves and blonde hair in their head. And guess what? Because Martin Luther King said it was okay for us to come and be with them. Right now, the worst place for our black men to be right now is a school system. Guess what? Well, we talk about the people that hate us, that don't love us. They ain't going to teach us the right thing to do. Martin Luther King was about that. But the Bible says do what?
Envy thou not the oppressor.
We shouldn't envy the oppressor, read.
And choose none of his ways.
He wanted us to be integrated into these schools. That's not what's in the Bible. Read what you got. Read what you got.
Proverbs chapter 11 verse 21.
Go ahead.
Though hand join in
The
hand.
Bible says though hand joining hands. Though we want to hold hands with these other nations, that's not what the Bible's about. The Bible's about separation. We weren't made together. We were made separately. We shouldn't come together. Martin Luther King's dream was our nightmare. Read.
Though hand joined in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished.
Guess what? The wicked, they ain't gonna be punished, so we don't want to be with them when they get their judgment. That's not what we should be wanting to do. Martin Luther King, guess what? He was a good talker. He was a good speaker. But guess what Martin Luther King said? He said he was afraid that he led his people into a burning building. Guess what? This place is gonna be destroyed.
What is the promised land?
What you mean? What's the promised land?
It's
We
the
trying
promised
to.
land that comes to a people that God delivers out of servitude.
So how we gonna get to that promised land if we? This ain't the promised land. Look at this right here. This the promised land right here. This the goddamn projects right here. This ain't no promised land. Look at our kids walking up and down the street with their pants hanging down their bed. Look at the women walking around with 3 and 4 different kids. This ain't no promised land. I mean, but where the white people live up, that's their promised land, though. This ain't no promised land. This is hell for us right now. This is captivity.
So what do you do about this environment?
What you got? Give me on Zephaniah 2. What you got? Read that.
Baruch chapter 3 verse 8.
Because this ain't no promised land. I'm going to tell you what this is.
Because
Read.
we're not ushering-
Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity.
We are in captivity. Guess what? You want some water? You got to ask the white man to cut the water on. Guess what? You want to. Guess what?
Whip chains and shackles.
With what?
We're in captivity with whip chains and shackles.
Oh no, we ain't got whip chains and shackles.
We've been freed from
Guess what?
slavery
Guess
and
what? Guess what? You know what they
now we
do?
need
Let
to
me tell you
usher
something
in
about the
the
zoo. One of the most dangerous land animals right now is the elephant. He can come through here and destroy everything in this community right now. But you know what they do to him? When he's young, they put a rope around his leg so he can't go nowhere. Guess what they did to us? They put chains around our necks when we was in slavery and captivity. But guess what? When he get old, he know he can't go nowhere. He know he got to depend on his enemies for the wants and needs of everything. So guess what? That elephant ain't gonna do nothing no more. And that's just like our people right now. They ain't gonna stand up and do nothing. We ain't trying to leave. We don't care nothing about. We want to clean the Martin Luther King. We want to clean to join hand in hand and love our oppressors. Guess what? We are in captivity. Read that again.
Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us.
We have been scattered through all over the world. That's why you think you're an Egyptian. You ain't no damn Egyptian. Read.
Where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse.
For a curse. It's a curse for us to be here like this. It's a curse for them to have us in these projects and ghettos on the bottom of society. That's a curse. That's not a good thing. That's not what I want my young black man raised up to see the older man drinking, smoking, women selling their body. This is a captivity. This is a curse. Read.
And to be subject to payment.
And to be subject to payments. You ask them people in Flint, Michigan, are they in their promised land right now? They got to bathe in lead-infested water.
Shalom, Israel. I'm Elder Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. YouTube likes to shut our channels down, as some of you have noticed, ever so often. Subscribing to join IUIC will assure you will always stay connected to our YouTube accounts. We want to do our best to make sure this truth gets out. Please click and join our subscriber YouTube channel called Join IUIC to stay linked to all of our videos. So again, please make sure you subscribe to this Join IUIC channel to get your latest updates from all our YouTube channels. Shalom.